there. I wanted to offer a practice today, particularly geared toward those who walk and those who run. I myself started running about 8 months ago, and it's been the most wonderful experience, given me so much energy. I know it's improved my cardiovascular health, but it's also brought forth some imbalances that were already present in my hips and in my legs. And I know a lot of runners experience similar and different issues in the hips and legs. So I thought I'd offer a yoga practice that can help strengthen and stretch those common problem areas that both walkers and runners can find themselves feeling in the legs and hips. So today, for this just brief practice, you're going to need a yoga strap. Now, if you do not have a yoga strap, other things you might use, you could use a luggage strap, you could use a men's necktie. I really don't want you to use an exercise band. I was going to show you an exercise band, but not anything that stretches. I really want something that has some hold to it, so that whenever we're doing certain postures, the strap is going to provide some stability for you. That's its purpose. And you might also need a couple of yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, what we'll be using these for, you could actually use a chair, a stool, a stack of books. So it's okay if you don't have those or anything to replace those with, but I would like you to get something along the lines of a strap. Even if it's the sleeve of a jacket that you have, or a long sleeve shirt that you could tie, that would be better than nothing. So that's what we'll be needing. And we're going to start lying on our backs. So once you lie down, the first thing I invite you to do is take a deep inhale and stretch your whole body long. And then as you exhale, just relax. And then one more time. Inhale, stretch long. And this time when you exhale, hug both knees into the chest and rock the hips from side to side, just kind of warming up the back body a little bit. We'll come back to center and then extend left leg along the floor. Just hug the right leg in. Just a breath here. And then switch sides. Right leg along the floor, left knee in. And then hug both knees in again. You might choose to do that a few times if you liked how that felt. Just for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and place my feet flat on the floor now and bring the feet wide apart. So the feet are as wide apart as your yoga mat, definitely wider than your hips. And from here, you can just rest your hands on your belly. You're going to start to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And you want to try and draw the knees down as far toward the floor as you're able. Now we're all going to feel this somewhere different. So you might feel it more in the front of the hip. You might feel it more in the IT band, in outer hip, outer thigh area. You can either just keep this about the lower body, or with the upper body, reach your arms up, bend the elbows, clasp the forearms, and let the arms move opposite the knees. So the arms go one way and the knees go the opposite way. Now, one thing with yoga that you might not be used to if you don't practice yoga is you want to be breathing slowly and deeply here. Long, slow inhale through the nose, long, slow exhale through the nose or through the mouth. And the reason for that deep breath, it really helps to connect your body and your mind, so you're really present for the movement. But that deep breath also helps to calm and soothe the nervous system. And when your nervous system is calm, your body is going to respond better to any stretch or any strength training that you're going to be doing. Your body is going to respond better. So especially when we're trying to stretch an area, slow breaths help to cue the nervous system. We're not in fight or flight. It's okay to relax. It's okay to release. So always try to remember to breathe nice and slowly and deeply while we're doing this. So we'll come back to center from here. And we're going to do a couple different variations of bridge pose. So first, just a regular bridge pose with your feet hip width now distance apart, feet pointed straight ahead, arms open a little bit away from the body, palms turn up to face the sky. Tuck your shoulders under, and then as you inhale, we'll lift the hips up into bridge. As you exhale, slowly roll the spine back down. Let's do that just a couple more times. Inhale, press the hips up. And exhale, slowly lower. This third time, we're going to hold the bridge pose. So inhale, lift the hips up. Now we'll hold bridge pose. Continue to breathe deeply and slowly. Relax your face. But with the legs here, I really want you to press down through the feet. I want you to feel like you're trying to drag your heels back toward the body. And make sure your legs aren't opening up too much or collapsing in toward each other, but you're keeping them really straight. Next, exhale, slowly lower down. Now, we're going to do bridge pose again. This time we're going to take our strap. So I've made a loop with my strap. My strap has a D-ring on it. So you pull the strap end through both ends of the D-ring, and then you separate the D-ring and then thread it back through so that I have this nice tight loop that is not going to go anywhere. Okay, so you want to take your strap or strap replacement and get that. If you don't have a strap or anything to replace it with, I'll tell you how you can replace this. So the loop is going to go around your upper thighs, mid-thigh area, okay? So it needs to be really taut here so that you're going to be pressing your outer thighs into the strap when you lift into bridge pose. Now, if you don't have a strap, if you have another person there with you, they could actually provide that resistance for you, either with their hands standing over you, pressing inward as you press your thighs out, or they could stand over you and their legs could provide that resistance. And that is just, of course, if you have a trusted friend or family member who you want to do that. Otherwise, the strap will serve the purpose. We'll inhale and lift the hips up into bridge. Now, as we hold our bridge pose, you are going to be actively pressing your thighs out into that strap. And the strap is going to provide that resistance. So you'll feel here your outer thighs and outer hips working. You're also still pressing your hips up, so we are activating the glutes and the hamstrings. Another couple breaths. And let's slowly lower down. All right, so we'll remove the strap from the thighs. Now, if you have a block, if you don't have a block, think about what you could use around your house to replace a block. So this block is firm, it's not going anywhere. You might use a hardback book, a box, something else that's about this size. And so you're going to place this between your knees, and we're just going to give that a little squeeze. You could also use a hard ball, like a children's play ball or one of those weighted balls if you use that for exercise. But we're going to give that a little squeeze, and then you're going to lift your hips up here. So just like with the strap was supporting and engaging the outer thighs when we held bridge pose, this is really activating the inner thighs. Important to do a few deep breaths. And let's slowly lower down. We'll remove that block from between the knees and place it aside. Now we're going to extend the right leg up to the sky and just point and flex your foot a few times. Circle the ankle. Change direction. Come back to center. Now you're going to grab a hold of your strap, and this is where the sleeve of a shirt, a men's necktie, anything could come into play here and be useful. You're going to place that around the ball of your foot and extend this leg straight. Now, even if your leg is way out here, that's okay. You want the leg to be straight, and you're going to take some long, slow, controlled breaths. As you breathe, again, that deep breath is going to cue your nervous system that it's okay to let go, it's okay to relax a little bit, and you might find that you can bring that leg just a little bit closer. Breathing slowly and deeply also helps you to release tension elsewhere in the body, so you might notice if you have tension in the neck and shoulders. Try to let that go right now. Try to let any tension go in the face. From here, we're going to place both ends of the strap into the right hand. We're going to start to open this right leg out to the right. The left knee is going to open to the left to counterbalance. And don't go too far here. You don't want to feel like you're rolling off onto your right hip. You want to feel like there's an even distribution of weight across the back of both hips. Once again, slow, controlled breaths. As you exhale, slowly bring the legs back toward each other. And then both ends of the strap come into the left hand. We're going to start to bring this right leg across the body toward the left. And you might not get very far before you really feel something here. In the outer hip, in the outer thigh, that IT band area, this can be a really great stretch. If you're not feeling much, you can rotate the sole of your foot to point a little bit more toward the left, and that might help to activate that area. Even if you're really feeling this, try to breathe slowly and deeply. Again, sometimes when we feel a big sensation, especially in a stretch, we actually tense up because the sensation might be startling. Really important to slow down the breathing. Just notice and don't push yourself too hard. If you're already taking yourself to 100%, there's nowhere to go but injury. So make sure that you're backing off and just feeling a moderate stretch. Let's bring this leg back to center. Release the strap from the foot. We'll cross this right ankle over the left knee. Now, really important here to flex the right foot. That means point the toes up. What that does is engage and stabilize the knee. We do not want torque to happen here at the knee. We want a rotation to happen, the thigh bone in the hip socket here. So you can press your right thigh away from you. This might be enough. You might feel a stretch here. Another option is to lift your left foot up, bring your hands behind your left thigh, draw that leg in. If you can't quite reach behind your thigh, that's where your handy strap comes in. You can draw that strap behind the left thigh and then hold on to the strap, drawing that leg in. As you draw this leg in, your right knee might come towards you. You still want to be pressing that right thigh away from you. Deep breaths, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. And we'll unwind, releasing. Just bring both legs back so that the feet are flat, knees are bent. Pause here for a moment. You should notice the sensations between the right and left legs. And we'll do that whole sequence now with the left leg. So extending the left leg up, and then point and flex the left foot several times. Circle the ankle. Change direction. Bring the foot back to neutral, and we will grab the strap and place the strap on the ball of the left foot, extending this leg straight even if it's far away from the body, breathing deeply and just holding here, noticing the sensations in the back of the left leg. We all might feel it a little differently. You might feel it more in your calf, perhaps behind the knee, maybe in the belly of the hamstring, right at the center part of the back of that left thigh. Wherever you feel it is okay. Just be cautious. Again, don't bring yourself all the way to 100% because there's nowhere to go but injury. So try to keep this a moderate stretch between 50 and 75% effort, and then you can breathe there and hold, and you might find that you can go a little bit deeper in time. Both ends of the strap go in the left hand now, and start to open that left leg out to the left. Right knee can drop open to the right to counterbalance. Try to keep an even distribution of weight across the back of the hips. Let's pause here for a few breaths. Slowly bring the legs back together. Both ends of the strap go into the right hand, and draw this left leg a little bit across the body to the right until you feel something happening in the left hip or outer thigh. You can rotate the sole of the foot to point a little bit more toward the right to maybe increase that sensation. We'll hold here for several breaths. And let's bring that leg back up. Release the strap and place it aside. Cross that the left ankle now over the right knee. Flex that left foot to stabilize the knee, and then you can stay here pressing your left thigh away from you. Or you can draw your right thigh in. Again, using your hands or using a strap, but keep levering that left thigh away. Especially if there's big sensations, try to soften and relax through the jaw and through your face. If you notice you're holding your breath, slow down, deepen the breath, long, slow inhale. Long, slow exhale. Let's unwind. Bring both feet flat to the floor. And from here, we're going to roll to one side and just use your hands and arms to press yourself up. And we're just going to come around to an all fours position. Do a couple rounds of cat and cow, just stretching your spine. As you exhale, round the spine. As you inhale, lower the belly and lift the crown and tail. Exhale, round. And inhale, drop the belly, lift the crown and tail. Next time you exhale, see if you can sink back into child's pose. Your knees could be wide apart or together. Forehead touches down on the floor, on a block, or on your folded forearms. Let's rise up. From here, we're going to lower down onto our bellies. And bring your hands next to your lower rib cage. And we're going to keep the head and chest lifted here. Shoulder blades drawing together and sliding down the back. Working with the lower body, you're going to press the top of one foot. Press the top of one whole leg down into the floor as you lift the other leg. And then lower that leg. Press that leg down into the floor and lift the opposite leg. So exhale as you lower down. Inhale as you lift. And then just keep switching sides. You have to engage the core here as well. We're strengthening the whole back body. You're strengthening the front of the hips. Just a couple more times on each side. And then let's lower down onto our folded hands in front of us. Rest the forehead down on the hands. Deep inhale, exhale with a sigh. One more exercise to do here. Let's lift the head up. We'll bring the hands back next to the rib cage. Lift the head and chest. This time we'll lift both legs and slowly open and close the legs. Now this is great for strengthening the low back. It's great for strengthening the back of the hips, the outer hips. If this feels like too much for you, you could always lower your forehead down to rest down, but keep the legs lifted, slowly opening and closing. Next time the legs come together, lower them down. We'll press up and back to a child's pose again. Let's rise up. Now for this, you're going to need either a chair, a stool, or a stack of blocks in front of you. We are going to make our way up to standing. When you come to standing, bend your knees and rise up with a straight spine. We are going to step the left foot forward towards your chair, your stool, or your stack of blocks, and the right foot is going to step back. Now, how far apart should your feet be? That's going to depend greatly for each of us, so just make this comfortable. Your feet should be hip width distance apart or even a little bit wider, so you don't want to feel like you're on a balance beam. Feet hip width distance apart. Now, I'm going to really lift and lengthen through my spine, and then I'm going to fold forward. Now, here you might already start to feel your hamstring. That's okay. That's a sign you might need something higher like a chair to rest your hands on. Or you could rest your hands on a stack of blocks. And we're just going to hang out here and breathe. I want you to try not to round the back like this, but you want to try and keep dropping your belly and reaching your chest forward. And feel like you're trying to draw your hip back behind you. Deep breaths. Also try to evenly root down through both feet, the inner and outer edges of the feet. So if you feel like you're rolling off to the outer edge or collapsing to the inner edge, just see if you can correct that. Now you might be fine holding here for a few more breaths. If you want more, You can keep your right hand down, bring your left hand to your left hip, and then slowly start to rotate your torso to the left. And then you'll really feel something, especially down the outer hip and thigh here. Deep breaths. Let's slowly come back and slowly rise up. And we'll change sides. So the right foot steps forward, the left foot steps back, feet are hip width distance apart, and hinge forward from the hips, keeping the spine nice and long, holding onto the back of a chair, the seat of a chair, or a stack of blocks. I notice this is my tighter leg. I'm feeling this side a lot more. Remember that slow, controlled breath, how important it is. Now you can stay here for a few more breaths, or you can keep your left hand at your chair or your stack of blocks. Right hand comes to the right hip. Slowly rotate the torso to the right. And then come back to center. We'll step that left foot forward to meet the right, bend the knees, and then rise up to standing. From here, you're just going to have the knees soft and bouncy, feet wide apart, and you're going to swing the arms and twist side to side, really letting your lower body come with you in and out of the twist. A couple deep breaths. And then from here, see if you can sink down into a low squat. And then come all the way down to sit in a cross-legged position. Deep inhale and exhale with a sigh. And so that's it. That's a handful of things that you can do if you're a runner to really help to balance out the legs and hips. There's a whole lot more I could offer you, but that's just my my go-to tips for helping you to find balance in your legs and hips as you're running. I hope it's helpful. Take care. You can find me online at healthybodypeacefulsoul.com, or you can reach out to me at jonisturgill@gmail.com. That's JONISTURGILL @gmail.com.